strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, eyes are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower excel. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Metal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in! As we get ready to rock and roll, as we get ready to go to battle here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League live from Iowa Speedway. This is going to be another amazing show, another great night of racing action for each and every single one of us to enjoy here this evening. As these drivers get ready to go to battle, they get ready to duke it out here. Cryptix over there on YouTube says, let's go. First to like the stream, let's go Cryptix. First to hit that thumbs up. And first comment over there on the YouTube stream is Bubba. What's good, Bubba? Bubba coming in, showing the love over there on Twitch as well. Says, let's go, baby. Let's go, Bubba. How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love here in this one as each and every one of these drivers ready to duke it out, ready to go to battle here this afternoon. Is qualifying about to get underway, so they're going to get ready to lay down their quick times here, see if they can try to put themselves into the top spot here this afternoon, seeing if they can put themselves into that pole position, trying to start their night off on the right foot in what's going to be a pretty wild night. A lot of great racing action here from Iowa Speedway. It's going to go pretty quick, and we do got some stage breaks to kind of slow things down, kind of keep that pace a little bit more mild out there on the Speedway, bring these drivers kind of back together and kind of punch them back up out there on the racetrack. So we're going to be kind of splitting this race up. So 50 laps at the completion of lap 50 will be the end of stage number 1. Completion of lap 100 will be the end of stage number 2. And then we'll have just under 100 lap race to the checkered flag. So 100 laps there at the end to really mix things up. We do see Noah Blackwell out there on the Speedway, Grant Applegate out there. There's that 6th rider, Brian Underwood. Wyatt Mickelson with a good lap time jumps up into the top spot there for a couple seconds, but quickly gets knocked out of that top spot by Aaron Robinson. Robinson now with the quick time, but it won't last very long itself as Landon Burbage jumps into the top spot. So the Prince is towing number 2 right now, the quickest car out there on the Speedway. We'll see if somebody can jump up there and knock him out of that top position. We do see Jordan Hand jump up into 3rd. There's Aaron Robinson coming back with another great lap. Robinson in the 24 showing some good speed, but it doesn't last long as he'll get leapfrogged again by Landon Burbage. Burbage back to the front of the field here. Man, some great lap times being laid down by these guys, man. Some very fast cats out there on the speedway. We do see Grant Applegate now jumping out there. Jordan Hand does jump up into second, moving Robinson back into third. Noah Blackwell right now rounding out our top five there on the racetrack. Brian Underwood now into seventh. Ryan Haller there in ninth. We'll see Applegate jump into position number 13. Farrell Robbins right there in front of him. And then Grant's going to get loose and go around right there down through quarter 1 and 2. So his second lap is not going to be any better here this evening. And we'll see if this sixth ride, if he can get some extra speed there, very close to that outside fence. We'll see if they use that lap or not. They will, and he jumps up into position number 5. Great lap right there for that Mazda Racing Kroger number 6 as he jumps up into that 5th position. Here comes that beautiful 72 ride, the Gangston's iRacing graphics machine, up into position number 12 right now, but he's going to get a piece of the wall. His second lap will not count, so he's bound to start potentially here in that 12th position. We do see the PBRY, the 88, and Logan Perriman out there on the speedway. Josh Kreider out there as well. Kreider with some, I don't know what the heck is going on here. That wheel is doing something out there. I don't know. He's trying to work out the bugs in that thing or something, but that wheel is moving pretty erratically. Having some fun out there on the speedway. Kreider currently qualified back in the 19th position. Brookover, Wood, Dylan Carrier, and Chris Gantz all yet to qualify here in this one. As Cryptus says, just to make sure, can you see the chat I'm in? Just in case. I don't know what chat you're talking about, Cryptix. What chat are you talking about? Oh, you mean like Discord chat? Like which voice channel you're in? Yep, I can. Yep, I see in your own. I see in there. Aaron says, bummer. He says, Aaron, bummer he didn't qualify on the pole, but still a very good lap out there on the speedway, man. Top 3 starting position. Looks like you got a fast car, a good car here this evening as racing is about to commence here in just a little bit. Qualifying about to come to a close here, and that means we're going to jump in for our little pre-race ceremony here. As Bubba says, scrubbing the tires. Yeah, he's definitely scrubbing the tires there. He was definitely scrubbing the tires. As Aaron says, still got an EOL. Doesn't matter. I qualified third. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a bummer. Bubba says, chillin', taking a break from ATS. It can get a little bit tedious after a while. A little too much of American Truck Sim can definitely throw you through a bit of a loop over there. So I don't blame you on taking a little bit of a break, kind of taking a chill pill there from the American Truck Sim. But we're going to jump into our national anthem here this afternoon. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, jump onto your feet here, remove your caps, and get ready for our national anthem, brought to you by Landon Burbage, the driver of the number 2 Princess Towing Chevrolet.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, shout out there with our national anthem is now we'll get ready for our opening command from Lonnie Kreider. Kreider coming in with the opening command here this afternoon. Show some love here in the comment section for Lonnie as we get ready for his opening command.
Thank you very much. I'm excited again to watch another race tonight. It's going to be some real good racing. It's been some good racing so far. You know, everybody's just kind of hanging out there and doing the best they can and trying to get up there and get some points and make sure that they're in the playoffs. And I just learned that Josh Kreider will not be racing with us tonight. He has had some illness, and we need to pray for him. So he will not be driving tonight, but I'm sure he will be watching. So we all need to pray for him tonight, that he gets recovered real quick. And also remember, we won't be racing next weekend because it's Easter weekend. So if you can, go to church, be with somebody, invite somebody to church. I know most of us all go to church. So if you can, invite somebody to go to church with you, to be with somebody. And I tell you what, it's going to be an exciting race tonight, like we said, and looking for lots and lots of more things to come before this season ends. So, gentlemen, let's start those engines and let's go racing and have a great time.
Beauty shout out there to Lonnie Kreider coming in there with our opening invocation here this afternoon, giving us some great words of encouragement as each and every one of these drivers are going to be excited to have the weekend off. They're going to be excited to have this, a little bit of an Easter break and allowing themselves to kind of sit back, relax, and get ready for what's going to be a grueling run through our final couple of races until the playoffs, and then through those playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and for drivers, they can reach both of those in a quick hurry as we'll get these guys out there on the racetrack, and we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Green flag racing as Landon Burbage, Jordan Hand, 1 and 2 on the speedway. Underwood, Kenneth Cheney, Aiden Lucas, Noah Blackwell, Wyatt Mickelson, Ryan Haller, Farrell Robbins, Danny White rounding out our top 10. Jordan Kreider, Jonathan Gaston, Ben Gleason, Grant Applegate, Michael Ponder Jr., Logan Perriman, Dylan Carrier, Chris Getz, Aaron Robinson, Nathan Brookover, Melvin Brengruer, gonna bring up the rear of our field here this afternoon. As we'll get these drivers ready to go to battle, they will get ready to duke it out here this evening. And unfortunate break there, we did see Josh Kreider out there for qualifying. Unfortunately, Josh under the weather, not racing here tonight. This is another night of racing action that he's gonna be missing after having surgery there a couple weeks ago. Obviously, having some issues, everything else, man. We're hoping and praying for the best there for Josh, and hoping that he feels better and gets better, and hopefully we'll see him racing out there on the speedway in a couple weeks' time. As we'll get these drivers ready to go to battle. The lights are off the official Iowa Racing Pace car, and we will set them loose here in just a few more moments as Viper Esports says, come on, 88, get up there, cheering on Logan Perriman here this afternoon. As here you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly Green Flag Racing here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, live from Iowa Speedway. It's Landon Burbage who will lead us down into the first corner as the 80 ride, making some quick moves and getting himself up into position number 2. So Kenneth Cheney on the move to the front of the pack here as Landon Burbage gonna lead us down through 3 and out of 4. Gets a little loose there on quarter exit, but able to lead lap number 1 here in Iowa. So Burbage out in front with Cheney back there trying to hunt him down. The 11 of Jordan Hand sits there in third with Brian Underwood, and that 20 ride of Aiden Lucas running out our top 5 here on the speedway. Noah Blackwell, the Bad Dragon, NJP Designs, number 18 ride. They're in that 6th position. Wyatt Mickelson early on in that HendrickCars.com ride, trying to get a little bit of his own Hendrick magic here this afternoon, trying to maybe recreate what Kyle Larson did in the Xfinity Series earlier on this afternoon from Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll see if he can pull his inner Kyle Larson and see if he can try to put this 10 ride up and into victory lane. His teammate Ryan Haller right there behind him in the Tax Slayer 99 ride. He's looking to try to race his way up there as well as Caster plays. What's good, Caster? How are you, brother? Caster coming in, showing the love as some issues deeper in the field here. We do see the number 31 of Dylan Carrier already down pit road here. Carrier having to come down pit side. We'll see Nathan Brookover still rolling out there. Michael Ponder Jr., though, he's ran into a couple issues. That car's came on and off the racetrack a couple times. Same with Nathan Brookover, and for Dylan Carrier still down on pit road. This is a heartbreaking start to the afternoon for Dylan Carrier this afternoon, as he did not want his day to start like this. I don't know what happened, if he ran into problems here, as we'll take a look back at the initial start and see what happens here to this 31. I'm not too sure where the issue is, where it may have came apart, but shifting issue, maybe something underneath the hood going astray here in our opening laps for this Phoenix Esports 31 machine, as rolling down the bottom here. He's got Michael Ponder Jr. there in front of him. He's looking good down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Oh, Ponder gets loose right there, and I don't see where anything bad happens to him. He doesn't head down pit side there, so I'm not sure what may have went wrong with this 31 ride and why he's down pit side for such an extended period of time, but he's been down pit road here for a little while, and unfortunately multiple laps down now, and he's gonna have to try to rebound from that. We do see him back out there on the racetrack, but as we said, he's at least probably 3 or 4 laps down now as Landon Burbage out in front really start to open up that lead. 1.2 seconds now between himself and Kenneth Cheney. Cheney trying to hold on to that second spot on the speedway, and Underwood and Hayden Lucas, 3 of those teammates just lined up right there, ready to steamroll that number 80 ride and trying to move Kenneth Cheney out of position number 2 and trying to see if they can get their team back up to the front of the field here as the Redemption Motorsports crew, man, they have been on a tear as of late. They have been putting together some very good races, putting together some great finishes, a lot of checkered flags between them, and so that 20 ride, he would be super happy to find another checker flag. I know for Brian Underwood or Jordan Hand, they would love to get one themselves. Applegate back there, their 4th teammate in position number 10 would also love to try to jump up there as well. As Caster Play says, well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're well, Caster. As Viper Esports says, come on, Ponder and Perriman. Cheering on Ponder and Perriman out there on the speedway. Perriman up into the 14th position here. Working on the back bumper of Jonathan Gaston. As Gaston right there in front of him in that beautiful Gaston's iRacing graphics. The G-Man himself rolls there in position number 13. Aaron Robinson, who was supposed to start in position number 3 here this afternoon, qualified in 3rd, has shown he's got a lot of speed in this 24 ride. Unfortunately, had to survey EOL, had to start at the back of the pack, and now trying to work his way back up through the field. Trying to get back to the front here in this one, as my boy Bubba says, boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys. Yes, Sirski, a big DW right there, a huge boogity, boogity, boogity for all these drivers here this afternoon. Some great racing action already underway. These guys putting together some great laps out here on the speedway, and it's going to be interesting to see as we start to see some of the pit strategy, some of the different moves from drivers, and how the tire wear and how the tire strategy is really going to play out here. And as this night kind of progresses, the rubber gets laid down on the racetrack, we're going to see these drivers kind of moving and navigating in different lines if they're on the racetrack. We already saw a lot of drivers like to try to hug that yellow line, especially down through the center of the corner, but we've seen them start to navigate a little bit higher up the racetrack, a little bit more towards that middle group here, and really starting to find that line, really starting to like that line as you see the 2 ride. Landon Burbage, he's using it to his perfection out there on the speedway. Underwood now up into position number 2, trying to track down that 2 ride of Landon Burbage, who's out in front. Jordan Hand there in 3rd with Aiden Lucas now in 4th. As Kenneth Cheney slides all the way back into 6th, now potentially going to fall back into 7th here as Wyatt Mickelson's right there. Blackwell already moving around him here on the outside. The HendrickCars.com machine looking to try to make that move, looking to try to get around him here and maybe bring his teammate Ryan Haller right there with him. It's Haller and Wyatt Mickelson, man. It's been great to see these two continue to improve, continue to get faster, and having these great runs. We saw Mickelson with a solid top 3 run, but he gets turned right there. Contact around goes Wyatt Mickelson. Caution flag out on the racetrack. Our first caution flag of the day, and Wyatt Mickelson goes around. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage there to that car. Let's take a look and see what happens as I don't know what happens here as these two just come together. They were racing side by side. The 80 ride knew that he was out there, and unfortunately just comes off the racetrack and kind of hooks him right there. I don't know if Kenneth gets into him or if the 10 of Wyatt kind of comes down off that wall a little bit. Either way, I don't know, Wyatt's still pretty straight. Maybe comes down just ever so slightly. The 80 ride coming up a little bit right there, and unfortunately they get together and around goes that 10 ride, and that's definitely not the way he wanted things to go, making that move for that 6th position on the racetrack. Let's see if we can jump on board with this number 80 rider, Kenneth Cheney, and see what Cheney sees here from the cockpit as they're rolling down through quarter number 1 and 2. He's been sliding backwards after quickly jumping into that 2nd position, now sliding back into 7th, and then has this contact right here, and unfortunately, yeah, just all she takes. Doesn't take much. Luckily enough, though, for Wyatt Mickelson, no contact to that inside fence. He's going to head down pit road, looking to get some repairs, trying to get this car fixed back up and back out there onto the racetrack here and see if he can navigate and race his way back up towards the front as Landon Burbage out in front did not want to see that caution flag. Wanted to see this one stay clean and green as there's our premium Stunt Car Racing League pace car. That beautiful Lonnie Grinder Phoenix Esports Cast and Die Racing Graphics NJP Designs admin box number the Premium Stock Car Racing League ride, the Robert Up Promotions, the beautiful sponsorship car out there on the speedway, the Hey It's Kev ride running perfectly out there at the front of the field, showing these drivers around again. Huge shout out to Matthew Wood, the driver of that Premium Stock Car Racing League pace car here for us this year. So shout out there to Matthew for jumping in behind the wheel and being our honorary pace car driver here this season, as he's at the front of the field right now, a spot that we're usually used to seeing him at. Unfortunately for him, not running for points or a championship or anything here this year, but for all the drivers back there behind him, they're looking to try to put up a big checkered flag here this evening and see if they can try to put themselves into a championship position here this year, as Landon Burbage, Brian Underwood 1 and 2. Underwood, last season's champion. He's looking to come on hot into the playoffs, hoping to see if he can try to recreate what he did last year in the playoffs and try to put that car back up into victory lane in our season finale and being that back-to-back champion here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as I'm sure he'd love to be that Season 4 champ and the Season 5 champ on the back of that car's bumper, as Jordan Hand there in third, Aiden Lucas back and forth. Noah Blackwell rounding out our top 5 with Kenneth Cheney, Ryan Haller, Danny White, Ben Gleason, and Farrell Robbins rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. Jonathan Gaston rolls there in 11th with Logan Perriman up into 12th. Aaron Robinson there in position number 13. Melvin Brenger, Jordan Grider, Michael Ponder Jr., Wyatt Mickelson, Chris Getz, Grant Applegate, our top 19, and running at our top 20 down pit road here, getting additional pit stop right there. That is Nathan Brookover. Then we see Dylan Carrier still down a couple laps out there on the racetrack for that 31 ride. Did get the lucky dog right there, so it was definitely a lucky break, a good break there for him, and trying to race his way back on the lead lap here this evening. Gonna need to see a few more early caution flags to try to get himself back into the battle here this afternoon. As here we go, back to green flag racing. Landon Burbage, Brian Underwood, 1 and 2 out there on the racetrack. Is down through the Geico restart zone. Here we go, back to battle here at Iowa Speedway, as Landon Burbage, a great restart right there, quickly getting onto the lap pedal and pulling a good distance down through 1 and 2 away from the rest of these guys. Seems like that 2 ride is absolutely hooked up here on these restarts. We'll have to wait and see though as the race continues on. We continue to see more laps, more runs here for a lot of these drivers and what their tires are going to do, how they're going to have to navigate this speedway and see where they can try to put themselves up into a winning strategy here this afternoon, as the tire wear could play a pretty solid factor out there on the racetrack. We already see drivers, I'm going to say roughly almost a second or so off the pace here. Let's see if this next lap they gotta balance out these laps here a little bit and see where everyone's gonna act compared to their best laps out there on the racetrack. Okay, so the tire wear's not too far off, honestly. Tire wear's not too far off. These drivers have been kind of hitting their marks, and unfortunately, here we go. Caution flag back out here again. Our second caution flag early in this race, and oh man, this is a heartbreaker. This is another one against Wyatt Mickelson, but this time I'm not sure if it's, I don't know, if Mickelson just gets up there a little too high here. Not a lot of grip up there that high on the racetrack. Trying to roll the outside groove and just loses the rear end. Bounces off the 88 right of Perriman. Nowhere to go for Dylan Carrier. Nowhere to go for that number 3 machine of Jordan Grinder as they slam right into him. Man, that was a heavy couple hits out there on the racetrack. That was a big time contact here for a bunch of these drivers as Perriman gets a little damage himself, of Wyatt Mickelson getting loose into the 88, up into the wall, then nowhere to go for Dylan Carrier, nowhere to go That 3 right as he gets a wild sight and seeing that 10 right up and over his hood, basically right back down on top of him. Let's see if we can jump on board that number 3 and see what Jordan Kreider can see out there on the racetrack, because this is going to happen in. Come at you in a quick hurry, but look here. There he is. Oh, flying in the air, still flying in the air. Wowzers. That was a heavy hit. That was a wild ride right there for Wyatt. Heavy hits for both the 31 and that 3 machine, and a bunch of tore-up race cars. And we talked about how we thought maybe the 10 ride was going to pull his Kyle Larson here this afternoon and try to put himself into a winning position and just run away with the race like we saw Kyle Larson do earlier on this afternoon in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Unfortunately here, ran into a couple early problems, and definitely not the way you want it to happen as he's flying through the sky down across the start-finish line right there. And unfortunately, heavy damage to get that car repaired and try to get back out there on the racetrack. And you see Michael Ponder Jr., he's down pit road. There's that 10 machine of Wyatt Mickelson trying to get that HendrickCars.com ride rolling again out there on the speedway, as Jordan Kreider also down pit road, and Dylan Carrier has had to use his quick repair getting that car back out there onto the speedway, and unfortunately did not receive that free pass out there on the racetrack as he was a part of that caution flag. Does not get the lucky dunk, does not get that wave around back onto the lead lap here this afternoon. So that's a heartbreaker there for him, heartbreaker for the 10, heartbreaker for the 3 machine, as we will get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to do this all over again as our Premium Stock Car Racing League pace car continues to roll out in front of the field here, making sure that everybody is ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here, keeping an eye on them, making sure that they're not making any wrong moves out there on the racetrack during these caution flags, as they're getting a little bit of a workout here this afternoon. Probably a lot of laps, a lot more laps than we've seen for a little while here for that for our pace car out there on the racetrack. And for Matthew Wood, he's got his work cut out for him here tonight as Matthew rolls out there on the speedway in that Premium Stock Car Racing League ride. He's going to look to head back down pit road here and let these drivers go back to battles. The next time around, we will see that green flag fly here once again, as we'll get a quick word in here from our sponsors over at Prestige Enterprises.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the U.S. and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Alrighty, here we go. Back to battle here. Halfway through stage number 1 this afternoon. Halfway through that first stage, already some wild racing action. Already a few caution flags and a couple tore-up race cars to mix things up here this afternoon. We'll get them ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here. Once again, the pace car does make that hard left-hand turn. Back down pit side is down through the Geico restart zone. Another great restart there for Landon Burbage. The Prince is towing number 2, gets another great launch and quickly rolls out in front again to a 2-3-4 car length lead down through quarter 1 and 2 as Jordan Hand jumps up into position number 2. Here comes Kenneth Cheney down low. Cheney looking to take that third spot away here from Brian Underwood. Underwood trying to hold on to position number 3 here as here comes his teammate Aiden Lucas to his back bumper. Noah Blackwell right there in position number 6. Ryan Haller there in 7th with Danny White, Ben Gleason, and Aaron Robinson. One of those drivers that was supposed to start at the front of the field here this afternoon, unfortunately had to serve an EOL, had to go to the back of the pack as we do see the caution flag back out. Robinson gets tied up in it. That's Blackwell turned around, put in the wrong direction here as the caution flag comes back out again this afternoon. So cautions breeding cautions here in this one, and it's gotten a whole lot worse out there at a quick hurry. These drivers definitely running into some issues out there on the speedway, and this time it is that number 18 in Noah Blackwell. Now, I think there's contact in from him. I'm not sure if this is Aiden Lucas in the 6. Teammates here battling back for position number 4, and looks like they're going to come off corner number 2 right there, and you see Underwood right there just out of corner 2. He's going to get up into the outside fence, bounces off that wall, comes down the racetrack into his teammate Aiden Lucas. They get tied together. Lucas gets bent out of shape. You see Noah Blackwell trying to drive down low to avoid them. Unfortunately, right here, he's going to get clipped by the 20 Ryan. Good front end damage, good right side damage there for that 20 Ryan. Is luckily not be, for the most part, I think, able to keep it off that wall, but you do see unfortunate contact there. Danny White nowhere to go on the outside lane as the 18 Ryan kind of slides back up the racetrack here. Blackwell coming up, everyone trying to get through there. He's going to end up getting a big piece there of Danny White. White nowhere to go. He's going to get slammed into by the 66 Ryan here of Ben Gleason. Two drivers we were just talking about having a great run and a great drive here. They get tied up in this one. Same with Aaron Robinson. As Robinson down low, he tries to jump down to the bottom side to avoid that number 18 Ryan. Unfortunately, drives right into him right there. Heavy damage for a bunch of good drivers. A lot of fast cats out there on the speedway, getting tore up out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately, cautions breeding cautions here, and really making things a little bit more interesting here this afternoon. That's for certain. Definitely spicing things up here in stage number 1. Drivers running into multiple issues. Drivers having problems out there on the racetrack. It's going to make things very, very tough for them to try to battle back and put themselves into a position where they may be able to steal a couple spots out there on the speedways. We do see Aiden Lucas rolling back out on the racetrack. Here comes Noah Blackwell. Ben Gleason just rolling back up the power here. Wyatt Mickelson, he likes to see that as he gains a few extra spots. He jumps back up into 12th as Logan Perriman now sits in the 8th position. Grant Applegate up into 6th. Ryan Holler now running out our top 5 to that Tax Slayer Cat number 99 machine. As out in front, it's been Landon Burbage all evening long. Quickest in qualifying. Third on that pole position has kept this 2 right out in front. He has led every lap so far here this evening. And he's looking to continue on that trend and keeping himself in the top spot here this evening. As Viper Esports says, can't park there. Yeah, they cannot park there on the bottom side of corner number 1 and 2. As you do see our premium stock car racing league pace car head down pit side there. Matthew Wood gonna head down pit road here. That is gonna give the drivers the heads up that it is 1 to go out there on the racetrack. So 1 lap left to go here in this caution flag, and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as these caution flags, man, they're inching us closer and closer to the end of this first stage. It's now down to probably about a 18-lap run or so until the completion of this first stage. So for that 2 ride, they were able to see a fairly decent run out there. Some good green flag laps for a little bit out there on the racetrack, and he was able to work that number 2, quite a ways ahead. He had over a second lead. He was sitting pretty. Hopefully now not burning up his equipment too much and able to keep these drivers at bay and see if he can pick up another bonus point towards the playoffs and 10 more points towards that regular season championship and trying to race his way into our playoffs. So here we go. Back down the front straightaway, the pace car makes the hard left-hand turn and down through the Geico restart zone. We are back to battle here at Iowa Speedway. Another good restart right there with the 11 right hanging with them for quite a little while. Luckily enough, the 2 right was able to clear them, but this time that 11 hanging there a little tougher, but does get loose there at corner number 2 as Landon Burbage once again opens up a couple car length lead. Is real loose sideways there on the racetrack. Somehow Jordan saved that car, keeps the point in the right direction. We keep on racing. He's still trying to collect that car as the 80 Ryan Cheney gets around him. Now here comes Ryan Holler down on the inside, and here comes Jonathan Gaston right into the mix, and Grant Applegate. Applegate from deep in this field. He made a pit stop down on lap number 16. Kind of off sequence to a lot of other drivers, and here he is back up inside the top 3. So, well, for the first time tonight in that 3rd position, but looking to see if he can get another good stage points here, maybe get another stage win. See if he can race his way onto the back bumper here of Landon Burbage. As Burbage trying to keep them all back there at bay as the laps continue to get clicked down. We inch closer and closer to the end of this first stage, but you see that 6th rider, Brian Underwood, even after banking it off the outside fence and having contact with his teammate, he's still showing that he's got some good speed in this sixth ride. Maybe that little contact or damage maybe even help this sixth ride out, as he's showing some great speed here towards this middle portion. And you see Grant Applegate right there as well. He's poking his nose into this battle as we see these drivers continue to fight out there on the speedway. Everyone trying to race their way up to the front of the field. Aaron Robinson running into some more problems in the number 24 ride. Unfortunately, it looked like he went for a bit of a skid down and off the racetrack here. Let's take a look and see as he loses the rear end. Car gets sideways down through the infield here at Iowa Speedway. Unfortunately, did a little landscaping there. Landscape crew, I'm not sure if they're going to be happy with it or they're going to be upset with the lawn mowing skills there of the 24 ride down through the infield, but he's trying to cut back his way through the field here and trying to race his way back up towards the front. As at the front, here we go, battle for the lead. Down low goes to the 6th ride in Brian Underwood. For the first time here this afternoon, we'll get around that 2 ride of Landon Burbage. For the first time, Burbage falls back into second as Underwood steals that race lead, and Underwood will be our new race leader here at Iowa Speedway. New race leader goes to the 6th ride, but we do see the caution flag come out as, oh man, Ryan Haller on the hauler, running into issues here in this one. The Tag Slayer 99, him and the 72, I don't know if they make a little contact right there, but he does get checked up. Logan Perryman bounces into him. Now he's just kind of getting pinballed around, trying to keep that car from any more contact or carnage out there. And man, that's a tough break there. Having a strong run up inside the top 5, top 10 here for pretty much all afternoon. Now let's take another look at this one, see if we can see any contact or anything here that may have happened. I don't know. He's kind of cutting down the racetrack. 72 is kind of rolling the middle, and it's just net code right there. Net code getting down into the corner, unfortunately. It just knocks that rear end loose. Once this car sliding sideways, no forward traction, not going anywhere anytime soon. In the 88 ride, Logan Perriman, the 89 of Branger, just really nowhere for them to go. Even Danny White there getting some damage on that 79 ride. Some good contact for all of them right there. As you do see, the 89 ends up into the outside fence, and luckily enough there for Ryan Haller, could have been a whole lot worse. Could end up with like a whole lot more damage, but luckily enough able to escape that with very minimal contact there, and he'll keep his race alive here this evening as Brian Underwood out in front. He was able to take that race lead away and is our race leader here as Landon Burbage back in second. This will be the first restart where he's going to have to start as a not the control car, so we'll have to wait and see what he's going to have up his sleeves to try to hang with this 6th ride and see if he can make a move and maybe try to take this top spot away from Brian Underwood late in this first stage of the day. Is this first stage quickly coming to a close? We inch closer and closer to it. Less than 10 laps left to go here for this stage. This is going to be a bit of a shootout here now. And already, we've seen, 3, 4, 5 caution flags, a lot of yellows early on in this race, really slicing and dicing up this field, really making the tire strategy kind of thrown out the window. The fuel strategy really not in play here for this first stage, but can definitely show drivers, what may be to come late in this race where, potentially track position may be better to have than trying to get those fresh tires, trying to get that extra little bit of fuel. Maybe keep yourself out in front, use that track position, and hope to see a few more late race caution flags that could potentially save you that fuel or balance out the tires and make them a little bit more even out there on the racetrack where you can keep that track position, not give up any spots, and be able to race at the front of the field or a little closer to the front of the field here this afternoon. So we'll have to keep a close eye on everybody and see what they're doing out there and how they're rolling out there on the speedway. We have seen some drivers come down pit side and make changes, make moves, and strategize here this afternoon. Applegate came down pit road on lap 16. We saw Aiden Lucas and Danny White. They were down on lap 29. Wyatt Mickelson, he was down pit road there on lap 23. We saw Robinson, Chris Getz down on lap number 29 as well. Then we just saw a slew of drivers like Noah Blackwell, Michael Bonner Jr., Ryan Haller, Jordan Grinder, Ben Gleason, Melvin Brangruer all come down pit road right there during that last caution flag on lap 39. So a lot of different pit strategies, a lot of different pit cycles kind of being played out there. Whether or not these drivers have been taking tires or if they've just been getting work done to their cars, trying to fix them back up and getting ready to go back to battle. As we do see F31 Ryan, he loved to see that caution flag as all these yellows have worked him back onto the lead lap after an early trip down pit road where he was held down there for quite a little while with a few laps down, but a few of these caution flags giving him the free passes and getting him back onto the lead lap and right back into the thick of things. As here we go, back to battle here in Iowa as the 6th rider, Brian Underwood, gets a great launch, a great start right there, and quickly clears that 2 Ryan, and now his teammate Grant Applegate's going to get around him here as well. So Underwood and Applegate 1 and 2 on the Speedway Burbage, now back into 3rd, as here comes Kenneth Cheney, here comes that 72 of Jonathan Gaston having a heck of a run here this afternoon as we do see the caution flag come back out. Cautions breeding cautions here this afternoon, and this time looks like potentially Nathan Brookover, potentially Noah Blackwell running into problems. There we go. We do see Blackwell kind of already sliding there on the racetrack. Let's take a look and see what happens to this Auto Value Parts Stores. NJB Designs Ride just gets loose, locks him up, spins that car sideways, and then bounces around off a bunch of different drivers and a bunch of cats once again getting tore up out there on the racetrack as Nathan Brookover slides into this one here. He slams in there, unfortunately makes heavy contact with that 18 ride, sends him right down and around, nowhere to go for Ben Gleason, Melvin Brangrew. They get some damages. Look at that 18 ride, man. Oh my gosh. 5-6 feet up in the air, just flying through the sky right there, man. That is a scary, scary sight to see. And if you're Noah Blackwell, you may need a new pair of underwear after a ride like that. That's worse than Six Flags, man. I don't know how you're gonna be able to, not have a couple stains down there. If you know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you know that there are definitely some stain fire suits out there after some of these wrecks. Here we go. The 18 ride down into core number 3 here in Iowa, just going to lose that rear end. The 18 goes around. Here comes Brookover into him. Then here comes the 66. And man, oh man, oh man, it was like a 3 jump down there in the Olympics for the 18 ride. I think he may have just won gold as he went about 34 feet there in the air. That was absolutely insane. And unfortunately for him, he's already used up potentially one of his quick repairs and now having to try to get some heavy, heavy damage repair down pit side. This may hinder his performance or keep him potentially a lap or multiple laps down here for quite a while this afternoon. Same with the 89 ride of Melvin Brangrew, the 8 ride of Nathan Brookover. All these drivers going to have to try and figure something out, trying to get these repairs or use their quick repair up and trying to get back out there on the racetrack and hope that they get enough caution flags that they can stay out of to continue get these cars repaired. As Underwood out in front will get ready for another restart here, another restart for this number 6 rides. We did see a bunch of more drivers come down pit road there. We did see Kenneth Cheney in the 80 ride made that decision to come down pit side. Same with Landon Burbage, Michael Ponder Jr., Dylan Carrier, Ben Gleason, Ben Brangrewer, obviously, and Nathan Brookover, Noah Blackwell all came down pit road right there, getting their cars repaired and fixed up. And other drivers trying to play that strategy game. They know a lot of these cats are going to have to come back down pit side here once this stage kind of comes to a close. So giving up the stage points potentially, but looking to try to get that leapfrog when things cycle back around the end of this stage, where we will see another caution flag come out at lap number 50. At the completion of lap number 50, that means that these guys come down pit side or potentially come down pit side at the end of the stage. The drivers that just came down pit road could leapfrog them, pass them out there on the racetrack, and put themselves up and into that top spot there on the speedway. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if that strategy works out, if they're able to do that kind of leapfrog and put themselves into a good position to start stage number 2 here this afternoon. As we'll get them ready to rock and roll here. Lap 47 will get clicked up on the board. Lap 48 will go up on the board, and we should get a 3-lap shootout here to settle stage number 1. It's Underwood. Our race leader, Grant Applegate, his teammate, they're in second. Their other teammate, Jordan Hand, back there in position number 4. And their other teammate, Ethan Lucas, rounding out our top 5 for Jonathan Cassidy's right there in the middle of a Redemption Motorsports 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here in stage number 1. As Underwood quickly back on the throttle, able to clear everybody, lead us down through quarter 1 and 2, and down the back straightaway opens up a couple car lines between himself and Applegate. Jordan Hand there in third with Jonathan Gaston trying to hold on to fourth here now as Aiden Lucas trying to put the pressure onto him here on the outside, getting a little sideways there, door to door, down across the line. As Redemption looking to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in stage number 1. Gaston looking to kind of spoil that party here, unfortunately down low, not able to carry that speed and momentum that he was hoping for. He will fall back to 5th as Danny White there in 6th, Farrell Robbins back in 7th, then we see Logan Perriman, Aaron Robinson, and Kenneth Cheney there in 10th as the caution flag will come back out. Caution flag will come back out for incident out there on the speedway, and that will also end our first stage of the day. So our first stage of the day will go to Brian Underwood. Underwood will win that first stage here this afternoon as we'll take a look and see quickly what happens. Looks like Ryan Haller running some more problems here in that tax layer 99 ride. Looks like down the back straightaway, just trying to get this car rocking and rolling, trying to get it smooth out there on the speedway, just loses that rear end, goes around, slams up into the outside fence. Pretty heavy damage there for him. Unfortunately stopped there on the racetrack, and that's where we see that caution flag fly. Heartbreaker there for the 99 riders. Here we go, our race leaders. A lot of drivers headed down pit side here. Pit strategy going to play a hand here in this one is Nelson Johns. What's good, Nelson? Nelson coming in with that like on the stream over there on Facebook. My boy Kevin Timmy also coming in with that thumbs up over there on FB as well. Shout out there to him doing that as well, coming in showing the love not only over on Twitch but also over on Facebook. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys have been enjoying the racing action so far here this afternoon, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to see if we can pull our stage 1 winner up here into the broadcast booth for a little in-race interview. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look here. There he is. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Brian, man, stage win number 1 under your belt here this afternoon, brother. Take us back through that one, as obviously we saw quite a few caution flags, a lot of calamities out there on the speedway, but you were able to find some speed, race your way up there into that top spot, and being able to be in the right place at the right time for that last caution flag.
Yeah, just trying to stay up front there, and teammates took strategy with tires and that. Just feel like the clean air and just staying out from the hornet's nest was key there. Is keeping the car underneath me. Had one slip, I probably caused that one caution with Lucas there, so fortunately I kept the car clean and keep trucking along here.
Absolutely, keep trucking along and trying to put yourself up into potentially stage win number 2 and maybe victory lane here this evening. But as you said, you wanted to stay out of that hornet's nest. Well, here on this next restart, you're going to be right in the middle of it. Looks like you're going to be restarting back in about the 11th or 12th position here for this restart, man. What's going through your mind right now, knowing that you're going to have to try to work yourself through some of this traffic?
Yeah, it's just take my time with it, be patient. I know a few of my teammates like go gun-ho here, but I'm going to take it pretty mellow. Just kind of see what everybody's doing, because seeing the people in front of me here, I'm very leery. So it'll be patience, and I'll get myself back up there.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, good luck out there. Have fun, and congratulations again on picking up stage win number 1 here this afternoon.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our stage 1 winner, Brian Underwood. Underwood, he is restarting back there in 11th. He's got his teammate there, Jordan Hand, who is outside, as they'll be looking to try to work themselves up through the traffic as things kind of bounce themselves back out. Drivers using that pitch strategy, able to put themselves at the front of the field here to start stage number 2. It's Kenneth Cheney out in front with Landon Burbage there in second. Dylan Carrier there in third with Ben Gleason, Noah Blackwell, our top 5 out there on the speedway. Blackwell still with some Pretty good damage on that number 18 machine. Jordan Kreider has gotten tied up in a few things. He's there in 6. Then we see Ponder Jr., Ryan Haller, some drivers that have ran into some problems here this afternoon. Up towards the front of the field here is a great restart there for Kenneth Cheney. Cheney with a perfect restart, quickly jumps out in front and trying to open up a big lead between himself and Landon Burbage. Burbage now trying to hold off Dylan Carrier there in that Phoenix Esports NJB Designs number 31 ride down the inside groove here. Now he had to make a early pit stop down pit road. Unfortunately had to go a few laps down. All these caution flags on the start of this race. Worked himself back onto the lead lap. Oh no, the caution flag is going to come back out here in this one. Caution flag coming back out again this time. Looks like Ryan Haller running some more issues there. Gets up into the outside fence. He's trying to get rocking and rolling, trying to keep that car out of trouble. Unfortunately, again, just up on the high side, going to lose that rear end. Slams up into the outside fence, and oh man, pretty good contact there for him. Pretty heavy hit there for Ryan Haller. Then at the same time, we see the 57 of Grant Applegate. Applegate's trying to avoid contact here with that 99, and just looks like he's going to get taken out right there, potentially by his teammate in the 20. Aiden Lucas just down low. Looks like he's going to get into the back end of that 57 and just turns Applegate around. Applegate now spinning sideways down on the bottom of the racetrack. Him and Lucas are going to get some pretty good front end damage there against each other, and unfortunately for this 57, he goes for a bit of a spin. Same with that 20 ride. Definitely not how they wanted their battle back up to the front of the field to go, but luckily enough, they get the caution flag already with the 99 ride to Haller. Now they're going to have to try to get their cars repaired and try to race their way once again back up towards the front of the field. Kenneth Cheney with that big restart did not want to see that caution flag. You want to see this one kind of go clean and green down there to the end of stage number 2, but fortunately, that's going to draw him all right back to his back bumper, and we'll get ready to do it all over again here this afternoon as Landon Burbage there in second, Carrier, Ben Gleason, Noah Blackwell, our top 5. Jordan Kreider, Michael Ponder Jr., Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood now up into ninth with Melvin Brandbrewer rounding out our top 10. Danny White, Aaron Robinson, Farrell Robbins, Logan Perriman, Aiden Lucas, Nathan Brookover, Wyatt Mickelson, Jonathan Gaston, Chris Getz, in the 99 of Ryan Haller rounding out our top 20. Grant Appleton back there in 21st as we'll get them stacked up, ranked up, and ready to go back to battle here in this one as that 80 ride, the NJB Designs ride, continuing to lead the way here in this one as we'll get them stacked up, ranked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. As Cryptic says, I had a penalty at the start, by the way, 55-second hold. Yeah. We saw that. We saw you down there. We saw you making that pit stop and being held down there for a long, long time. And unfortunately, that put you back, 3-4 laps early in this race. But all these caution flags, there was one driver, I think, that was somewhat happy to see. We did see Dylan, unfortunately, get tied up in a wreck early on there as well. Got some pretty heavy damage to that 31. Had to use that quick repair. And unfortunately, he doesn't have that in his back pocket anymore. But all these yellow flags have put him back onto the lead lap and right back into the mix of things here this evening as they see that Phoenix Esports ride rolling right there in position number 3. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go here once again. The green flag just around the corner, and we'll get ready to set these drivers back loose and go back to battle here this evening after a quick word from our sponsors over at Prestige Enterprises.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the U.S. and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Alrighty, thank you there, Miss Harley, as we get ready to rumble here again from Iowa Speedway. The 80 ride down through the Geico restart zone. We'll see that green flag fly once again into the air here at Iowa Speedway. Cheney with another great restart, quickly getting that 80 ride out in front, clearing them and opening up a couple car length lead down the Iowa back straightaway. Landon Burbage right there in tow as he looks to battle door to door and now clears that 31 to Dylan Carrier. Carrier slides back into third as here comes Gleason and Blackwell rounding out our top 5 on the racetrack. Jordan Hans worked himself now back into position number 6 as he looks to race his way towards the front of the field. Same with Jordan Grider there in that 3 ride, and there you see Underwood. He restarted back there at the end of stage number 1. Fell back to 11th, now up into 7th here. He's looking to try to race his way back to the front of the field here, seeing if he can try to win stage 1 and stage number 2 here this afternoon. He's going to have his working out for him, still trying to work his way through some of this traffic. Danny White right there as well. Hassling that 3 ride, trying to make the move around. Jordan Kreider for position number 8 on the racetrack, and Aaron Robinson running out our top 10. It's Farrell Robbins, Michael Blonder Jr., and Lucas back there in 13th. Melvin Brangrew there in 14th. There we see Grant Applegate in the 57 and the 88 of Logan Perriman battling door to door. That's for the 15th and 16th position on the racetrack. Wyatt Mickelson, Jonathan Gaston, Ryan Haller, and Nathan Brookover rounding out our top 20 is Chris Getz. Good to see Chris Getz back out there on the racetrack there in that NLM, the No Love out there on the speedway. Sits back in position number 21 on the speedway in that 87 ride is out in front. Landon Burbage able to take that race lead back away from that 80 ride of Kenneth Cheney. We've seen that out of this race already. Cheney seems to really get off really quickly here. So he gets off really quick. Not only, only a couple pumps out there. I mean, a couple laps out there for Kenneth Cheney as he was able to, jump out in front, lead a few of those laps, and then as soon as this car falls off after probably 3-4 laps out there on the speedway, and then this thing kind of bounces out. Doesn't seem to have quite the speed to be, a front runner, as in being the race leader, and now he's getting ran over from the 11 right at Jordan Hand. He's giving him a bit of a handy right there. His unfortunate break for the 80 right as he's going to get sideways. Luckily enough, no caution flag, but he does fall all the way back into that 9th position as there goes Aiden Lucas right on around him. As Lucas back into 9th, Jordan Kreider right there as well, trying to jump up and take advantage of that 80 right as Cheney slides all the way back into 9th. As out in front, it's Landon Burbage. Burbage continuing to lead the way. It's still in Carriers hanging on there in that Phoenix Esports ride in position number 2 as Jordan Hand back into 3rd. Now some front end damage after making that contact between him and the 80 ride. Brian Underwood rolls there in position number 4. Ben Gleason there, rounding out our top 5. Gleason had a great run last weekend, had a great finish there in that 66 ride, and looking to have some more good speed, looking to have another good run here this afternoon in that Ford Mustang here this evening. See if he can try to pick up another podium finish there in that 66 ride. It's Danny White back there in 6th. Aiden Lucas there in 7th now. Noah Blackwell has fallen back into 8th as Kenneth Cheney hanging on there to position number 9. But Aaron Robinson not too far off his back bumper. Soon with that 3 right at Jordan Kreider and Grant Applegate now up into 12th and quickly looking to try to take over position number 11 from Kreider there on the speedway. And some great racing all around the racetrack, laying down some good green flag laps here in this one. We were close to getting that caution flag again. We were close to seeing these guys go back under the yellow, but we keep it clean and green here in stage number 2 here this afternoon, and we're finally able to click off and onto the board. Lap 69, our favorite lap of the race. Lap 69 out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some hashtag 69s up in the chat right now. And if you guys also appreciate these drivers and appreciate lap 69, let's see you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Some great racing action here this afternoon from Iowa Speedway. And there you go, lap 69 off the board, lap 70 up there. We got 30 more laps left to go here in stage number 2 and 130 laps left in this race. Seems like it may take a little while here this afternoon. These guys are going to be working their butts off. This is going to be a tough race for a lot of these competitors. And some of them have already ran into some early troubles. They definitely want to see things get a little bit more chill, a little bit more relaxed out there. A couple more bank hits and their nights could be over in a quick hurry. Has Landon Burbage out in front, more than a half a second lead between himself and Dylan Carrier. Carrier sitting there in P2 with Jordan Hand about a half a second behind him there in that 3rd spot. Underwood a few tenths of a second back in position number 4 with Ben Gleason there in 5th as Michael Michael says, sucks, wish I would have made, but had to work. Oh, That's a tough one. That's a tough one, Michael. That's a tough one, brother. We wish you would have been out there, my boy. We wish you would have been out there and been able to battle and duke it out with these guys, man. We always like seeing that 0-0 right out there on the speedway in the Durham machine, looking to try to get a good run, good finish. Unfortunately, yeah, man, work sucks, man. Working for a living, it's never fun. Working for a living, it does suck. I work a full-time job. I work almost every single day, in the real world, and then every single night I'm up here in the broadcast booth, and when I have time, I'm doing editing and everything else, making reels and other videos and everything else that we can to try to get out there onto the social networks and everything else, and it's a lot, man. It's a lot. I'm burning at both ends of the candle right now, just keeping it going, just keeping myself floating out there, and right now it's tough for everybody, man, and for Landon Burbage, it's going to get tough for him in a quick Curry here is that 2-ride in front, but sees that lead starting to evaporate. The 31 at Dylan Carrier starting to put the pressure here onto his back bumper. Carrier looking to try to take this race lead away after having to serve a penalty, being held down pit road for virtually 3 laps and going a few laps down early in this race. Has been able to rebound a lot of caution flags early on in that first stage and worked him back onto the lead lap. Now with some pitch strategy, has worked himself up to the front of the field and looking for the race lead here in Iowa Speedway. What a comeback it could be if that 31 machine could take this race lead away from the 2-ride and put himself out in front, leading laps here in Iowa. Even before we hit that halfway marker, after going so many laps down early in this race, we thought potentially his day may have been over just with those penalties, or he's going to need some very good luck out there to even just get back on the lead lap. And here he is early on, still battling for the race lead out there on the racetrack. And as they continue to close in on that 2-ride, here comes Jordan and that 6 machine of Brian Underwood. Underwood has shown a ton of speed here in Iowa. After winning stage number 1, he's looking to drive his way back up to the front of the field, looking to try to win stage number 2 here, as well as he rolls to the back bumper here of his teammate Jordan Hand. A little farther back, you do see Ben Gleason back in position number 5. Aiden Lucas there, Redemption Motorsports teammates there too. Jordan Hand and Brian Underwood trying to roll his way back up inside the top 5. Danny White there in 7th. Grant Applegate, the 4th driver there for Redemption Motorsports, back in position number 8. They were able to come home with a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish there in stage number 1 for the Redemption crew, and now they're looking to recreate that here in stage number 2 and hoping to try to recreate that here on our checker flag and round out our top 4 spots on the speedway. Right now, Applegate, the farthest back Redemption car, rolls there in that 8th position after working himself around Kenneth Cheney, as Cheney, after the contact between the 11th and himself, slid back into his 9th position. He's held a pretty wheel since then, just hanging on to this 9th spot. He gained a couple spots, fell back a couple spots again, but able to keep himself balanced right there in that 9th position. As Aaron Robinson back there in position number 10. We see Noah Blackwell back there in 11th. Melvin Brengerer, Jordan Kreider, Farrell Robbins, our top 14, with Jonathan Gaston rounding out our top 15. Ryan Huller, who showed some great speed early in this race, he rolls back there in the 16th spot. Same with Wyatt Mickelson there in that number 10 ride. Both drivers got collected in some early race incidences out there on the speedway, and both had some pretty tore up race cars. Look like they have been repaired, but unfortunately rolling back deep in the field now in that 16th and 17th spot. Nathan Brookover back there in the 18th position with Logan Perriman there in 19th as the PBR, the Perriman Brothers Racing ride, rolls there in position number 19. Chris Getz there in 20th with Michael Ponder Jr. back in 21st. As each and every one of these drivers continue to battle, continue to duke it out here in this one. It is Landon Burbage who's able to hang on to the race lead, as you do see Jordan Hand working his way around that 31 of Dylan Carrier. He's trying to hang on to that 2nd spot. Unfortunately, looks like he will fall back into 3rd, and now back into 4th is down low. Brian Underwood will make quick work of him there, as unfortunately for both those drivers, that took a little while. That took a little bit longer than I think they were expecting, and unfortunately now they're about 8/10 of a second behind our race leader. For Landon Burbage, that may have been the gap that he needed to start to pull away or keep these drivers back there at bay as we inch closer and closer to the end of stage number 2. As stage number 2 coming to an end here in a quick hurry, as my boy Nelson Johns. I just saw that brother. Says, good evening, Mr. Aaron. They pushing them hard. They are pushing those cars hard, brother. They are definitely working hard out there on the speedway. These drivers, they do not give up. They do not give an inch. They do not back down from a challenge if they're on the speedway, and that's what makes this series so much fun, so entertaining, and so intense out there lap after lap after lap. They're racing each other hard, you know, for second, just as hard as they would race back there for 18th. They don't care whether or not you're lap traffic or if you're battling for the win and trying to lap the field. They're going to race you just as hard as any other area or position if they're on the speedway, and whether or not it counts for a spot or if it just trying to keep yourself alive or for pride if they're on the racetrack, they're not going to give it up easy if they're on the speedways. Landon Burbage leads the way here. He's trying to open up that gap, trying to pull away from Jordan Hand now after Hand had worked himself around Dylan Carrier. These guys have been sliding a little farther away from that 2 ride. I don't know if Burbage for the first little bit was just trying to save a little bit of equipment, allow these guys to try to burn their stuff up, try to hunt him down, and then starting to pull away here as now you do see Ryan Underwood down low. He's looking to try to make the move around Jordan Hand here. Hand, as I said, teammates, even though at the front of the field here, battling for second and third in this stage. Ryan's shown that he may have a lot more speed than that 11, but he's not just going to give it up easily. He's going to continue to fight for it. He doesn't want to give up second himself, even if it's to his teammate, as we do see that 13 ride heavy damage here on Michael Ponder's machine as he's taking that car down pit side. Heavy right side damage. That right front tire pointed the wrong direction. Rolling down pit road, trying to get to his pit stop, hoping to get that thing repaired and back into one piece. The crew is going to go to work and try to get that car back into racing condition and back out there on the racetrack as Burbage continues to lead the way. Jordan Hand still there in second. As here we go again. Brian Underwood down low. Jordan Hand down through the middle here. And Jordan Hand still not going to give it up here. You'd think if they were teammates that maybe, Hand would try to let him go, maybe let him get that spot, but now as they start to battle here for position number 3, it's allowing Landon Burbage to pull farther away, and it's also bringing that 31 ride of Dylan Carrier right into this fight for that third and second spot on the racetrack. Aiden Lucas a little farther back there in position number 5 now as Ben Gleason falls back to 6. Danny White, Grant Applegate, Kenneth Cheney, and Aaron Robinson running out our top 10 here on the speedway, but there's Robinson down low. He's going to make that move around that 80 machine as they're going to go door to door. Down and out at car number 4. Look at the 24 getting a little bit loose, able to save it though. Keep that car pointing in the right direction and keep on battling. As the 2 of Landon Burbage out in front, it's still 9/10 of a second between himself and Jordan Hand. 9/10 is all it takes here to try to pick up stage win number 2 on the afternoon. It's down across the line. They will click off another lap. We should see about 9 laps more here in this second stage. So time is running out in a quick hurry to make your move to try to race down that number 2 ride and try to steal this win away from him here in stage number 2. You gotta make your move now. You gotta make this pass. If you're Brian Underwood, even pushing your car, you've shown that you've got the speed. You've poked your nose down low multiple times trying to get around that 11 of Jordan Hand. Hand is not giving it up though, not backing down and not just gonna let him run away with it and see if he can pick up the stage win himself. And it could potentially cost both of them a stage win here this evening. Could potentially keep the 11 and Brian Underwood from catching that 2 ride and putting up a fight for the stage win. As there we go again. Brian Underwood down low, battled in door to door with that number 11, but down out of 4 got loose and unfortunately had to give up that second spot again. That battle for that second spot. He slides back again to 3rd, trying to get this car kind of wound back up and trying to build that momentum up here again. Now has to close that gap on the 11 ride and then try to size him up, make another move, make another pass, trying to steal position number 2. And as he's going to have to try to do that, they continue to just stay at bay here. 9/10 of a second still between Hand and Burbage, and Burbage is loving it, seeing them battle, duke it out back there for position number 2, and still getting all the pressure off his back bumper. Now he's just trying to run his race, hoping to see this green and white checkered flag fly, and not allowing these drivers to catch up to his back bumper and allowing them to try to steal this stage win away from him, where we'll give 10 points to our stage winner. Those 10 points will go towards the regular season championship, and then everyone inside the top 10 behind them will get 1 point less every position. So for Jordan Hand, he'd get 9 points. For Underwood back there in third, he'd get 8 points, and so forth, down to our 10th place finisher, who will get 1 point towards our battle here for the regular season playoffs, and trying to get into the playoffs and for those regular season points as well. And then obviously picking up that stage win, you also earn yourself 1 bonus point. The stage winner earns 1 bonus point towards the playoffs as well, that carry with you through all of our rounds into that championship race. And for Landon Burbage, that could be that one vital spot, that one extra point that you may need. That could be the difference maker between going home and not racing or competing for that championship after a round or two, or potentially, having that point in your back pocket, using it and being able to make yourself into that final round and battle for the championship here this year. So he's definitely looking to see if he can pick up that championship and looking to see if he can pick up his second stage win, as only a couple laps left to go here. In stage number 2 for that number 2 ride, as lap 99 up and onto the board, this time down into corner number 3, nice and easy. Even if the caution flag were to fly here, the stage would come to an end, so he's just trying to make sure he hits his marks, not gives up too much time to Jordan Hand here, as down across the line, there is lap number 100. So this stage will come to a close the next time around, as Landon Burbage, nice and easy down through 1 and out of 2, will take us down the back straightaway here on our halfway marker. Our 100th lap of the race is about to come to a close here in Sandwich, stage number 2 on the evening. Is down across the line. Stage win number 2 will go to Landon Burbage. Burbage wins that second stage. Jordan Hand there in second. Brian Underwood, Dylan Carrier, Aiden Lucas, Ben Gleason, Kenneth Cheney, Grant Applegate, Aaron Robinson, and Melvin Brangler are going to be our top 10 there in stage number 2, as Landon Burbage picks up that stage win. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for that 2 ride. Definitely showing that he's got a very, very strong car. Had a good run there in that first stage. Didn't get the points he was hoping for. Took that pit strategy, restarted up there at the front of the field for stage number 2, and able to pick up the stage number 2 win here this evening. Jordan Hand back there in second. Brian Underwood there in third. Dylan Carrier and Aiden Lucas rounding out our top 5 there in that stage, as Landon Burbage able to get the stage win. We'll get ready to see if we can pull him up here into the broadcast booth. Now, I do believe these drivers are going to potentially head down pit road here for some pit stops. So let's see if they head down pit road. If they do, then we will wait until he's in his pit stall before pulling him into the booth here, as we don't want to mess him up here on his pit stop. We want to make sure that he can be clear and focused, make sure he hits his marks down here, down into that very first pit stall, as he was our pole sitter. He gets the benefactor of being that very first pit stall on the racetrack, and here he is all the way down the Iowa Speedway front straightaway down into corner number 1 here, where it starts to wrap around, and now he'll make that hard left-hand turn down into his pit box. There you go. He's gonna make that stop and get this car fixed up, trying to get it in there, trying to get that thing fixed and ready to rock and roll back out on the racetrack, and we'll get him up here into the broadcast booth for his stage 2 win here, as they're going to battle back across the line. Looks like a little bit of a slower stop there for him. Looks like he is going to lose a couple positions right there. Seemed like he took a wider arc into his pit stall, and unfortunately cost him potentially that lead coming out of the pits, as we'll get him ready to jump up here into the booth. Hey Landon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy. Hey Landon, it's Aaron up here in the booth. You get a copy? You are muted if you didn't know that. Hey Landon, it's Aaron up here. Do you get a copy?
I got a copy.
There we go. Landon, brother, stage win number 2 here on the afternoon. Unfortunately, a little bit of a slow pit stop there. It seemed like it took a little bit more of a wide arc down into your pit stall, and unfortunately, it lost you a little bit of time there, and now you're going to have to restart in position number 3 behind 2 of those cats that were trying to hunt you down out there on the racetrack there in stage number 2.
Yeah, I'm not too worried, man. I mean, after the first time I pitted, I noticed that I couldn't really see my box. and it's kind of hard when I don't have the end racing iRacing spotter on, and Matthew's my spotter right now. So it was just hard to see my box. So I just had to take an early turn in there, and at least with a good turn of events, I got a stage 2 win, and yeah, tires felt really good at the end there. So hopefully we'll be able to bring home the win tonight.
Yeah, hoping for more of a long run race here to finish off this one, as it seems like that two ride very, very strong, not only on the short run, but on the long run. Seems like that thing really starts to come alive as you were able to, open up a bit of a gap there and breathe easy down across the line here to pick up that second stage win.
Oh yeah, man, I'm very ecstatic right now. Just it's the best I've ran all season, so I'm just hoping to get something here.
Alrighty, well, good luck, have fun out there in this final stage, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Landon Burbage. Burbage picking up that second stage win, and he is ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here once again as our third and final stage about to get underway here. Less than 100 laps of racing at your left here in the Premium Stunt Car Racing League as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. We're going to jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume as we go back to Green Flag Racing here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League.
Strapping, tight, ready, V8 symphony humming. Tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising. In the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, crackers, wizards like precision. Seconds, battle clock, ticking tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, proof of champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Cloud roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Television apex, hunting blind to the herd. Opponent's tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally, doom monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lane, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Cloud roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming. Tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising. In the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quickest wizards like precision. Seconds, matter clock, ticking tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, eyes are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponent's tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally, tomb monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checker flags, racing through the turn.
girls, get up here for all these drivers. A beautiful crank it up session out there on the speedways. Out in front, continuing to lead the way. It is the 11 ride that Michael Jordan, paint scheme number 11 of Jordan Hand. As Jordan leads the way here in this one. The 11 ride hooked up here this afternoon. He now has Landon Burbage back there behind him, though we talked to Burbage after winning stage number 2. He seemed like he was very happy with his race car and very excited to see how this race was going to play out. He had to race his way there around Grant Applegate and Aiden Lucas, and slowly but surely he was able to work himself around both of those drivers, and now back up into second and looking to hunt down our race leader here on the speedway. And some great racing action, some more good green flag laps after we did see that 13 ride of Michael Ponder Jr. go for a little bit of a ride down the back straightaway there, go upside down, and unfortunately get tied up there in a caution flag. And talking about a caution flag, we'll see another one come out here. So the caution flag does come back out as a little farther behind our race leader. We see a couple drivers kind of getting bent and tied together here. I do believe the 24 ride going to go around there. Yeah, there you go, Aaron Robinson having a great race. Robinson was battling up at the front of the field here. He was looking to try to keep himself, inside the top 5, and unfortunately just some contact here between him and the 57 of Grant Applegate as he was making the move around Applegate for position number 4 on the racetrack. Applegate just gets tight, washes up the racetrack, unfortunately gets into that left rear quarter panel of the 24 ride, spins him around, some pretty good front end damage there as the 6 of Brian Underwood does get a piece of him right there. Unfortunately now some damage to that 24 ride and some contact, and some tires gonna have to be thrown onto that car as we do see drivers heading down pit side. Everyone's looking to come down here for a green or a caution flag pit stop, and potentially taking out the possibility of a green flag pit stop here this afternoon, as the only drivers to stay out there on the racetrack. It was Jonathan Gaston who stayed out there. He's looking to potentially lead a lap here. Same with Nathan Brokover, as both these drivers stay out there on the racetrack. Landon Burbage, though, looking to try to beat everyone off of pit lane, but the 11 right at Jordan Hand a little too quick. Same with that 57 of Grant Applegate, and where he kind of gets lined up here. Looks like he's going to come out in position number 3 there off of pit lane, and could potentially be starting back in 5th as Ethan Lucas, Brian Underwood, Ben Gleason, Kenneth Cheney, Dylan Carrier back there now into the 10th position. But we do see Nathan Brookover. He is going to come down pit side. Gaston's going to stay out for at least another lap here. Looking to get a lap led out there on the racetrack for that Gaston's iRacing Graphics number 72 ride. That could be an extra point into his back pocket for leading a lap out there on the speedway. Now we'll have to wait and see if he's going to restart here at the front of the field, or if we'll see him come down pit side and potentially take that green flag pit stop late in the race, giving up all the track position that he did have, giving that up to lead this lap, and now going to have, fresh tires like everybody else, maybe a couple laps extra better of fuel than everybody else, and we'll have to wait and see kind of what that strategy looks like here for that 72 ride, as we should go back to green flag racing with about 58 laps left to go here in this race. So I think these guys can make it to the end. I don't know. It's going to probably be very, very tight on fuel, but I believe they can make it to the end. I feel like they can make 58 laps. Now, I don't know if tires are going to hold up for 58 laps or whatnot, but drivers are definitely trying some different strategies here, and we do see the 72 stays out there on the racetrack, so he's going to get ready for this restart as our new race leader. Gaston maybe having a trick up his sleeve or two, maybe realizing that track position may be the key to try to pick up the win here this afternoon, and we're going to see some different moves out there on the speedway as well. Looks like the 57 is going to elect to take the inside lane there as our third place driver, so he'll move down to the inside. The 2 of Landon Burbage there to the outside in position number 4. There we see Aiden Lucas, Brian Underwood, as a bunch of these Redemption Motorsports rides once again up inside the top 6. There we see Ben Gleason and Kenneth Cheney back in row number 4. Row number 5 has the 31 of Dylan Carrier, the 89 of Melvin Brandbrewer. Then we see Danny White, Logan Perriman, Ryan Haller, Farrell Robbins, Noah Blackwell, Wyatt Mickelson, Jordan Kreider, Chris Getz, Aaron Robinson, and Nathan Brookover rounding out our top 20. Michael Ponder Jr. kept that 13 ride down pit road here. Tough break for him. We did see him go for a ride there during our crank it up, and here we go. We're going to go back to battle here. Oh, decent restart right there, but the tires not as good as everyone else out there on the speedway for that number 72 of Jonathan Gaston. He's trying to use that pit strategy to his advantage here and quickly going to get consumed by a lot of these drivers. Those fresh tires and now some contact. Look out, he's getting a little bit loose right there as he came down the racetrack across the nose of Landon Burbage. Luckily enough, they're able to hang on to, and there is the caution flag. Caution flag is going to come out right there as looks like the 6. Oh no, this is a heartbreaker for Brian Underwood. Looks like Underwood and the 80 ride here gonna make some contact. That is Kenneth Cheney, unfortunately, going to get into him right there and just going to make some contact right there. There's the initial contact into that Kroger left rear quarter panel of the 6 ride. That's going to get him sideways. They're going to make contact again. A heavy front end damage. That's going to push the 6 ride up the racetrack. Hard contact into that outside fence. Heavy damage there for him. Luckily enough, looks like everybody able to get around him here. Looks like Wyatt Mickelson able to avoid him. The 50 or the 87 of Getz, the 3 of Kreider, all able to avoid that 6 ride as he is going to take that car right down pit side here and unfortunately tow it down pit road. And unfortunately here for last season's champion, that could be a heartbreaker for him here as that could put him quickly a couple laps down. Looks like he's actually took this car right down behind pit wall. So for Brian Underwood, like his day may be over here, ladies and gentlemen. Underwood had a very fast car, won that first stage, and unfortunately, now behind pit wall, and could potentially be rounding out our top 20 here this afternoon. As Nathan Brookover, Jonathan Gaston down pit road, and that number 80 Kenneth Cheney getting his car repaired here, trying to get it fixed back up, and hoping to see if he can slide back out there as well as Dick Cheney. The Dick Cheney 80 ride, ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here in this one. As out in front is Jordan Hand was able to quickly make some work done. Easy work of that number 72 Jonathan Gaston. Unfortunately, Gaston now deeper in the field here, but will have fresher tires and everything than everybody else. Is Grant Applegate back there in second, Landon Burbage there in third, Aiden Lucas, Ben Gleason, our top 5 on the racetrack. Dylan Carrier, Danny White, Melvin Branker, Logan Perriman, and Farrell Robbins now running out our top 10 as we'll get them stacked up, ranked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. An 11 rider, Jordan Hand, he's shown some speed here. Now he hasn't been as flashy as some of these other drivers, but once he's kind of gotten out in front, he's been able to hang on to this race lead and really hasn't given it up other than they're under that caution flag. So we'll have to wait and see if somebody's got something left up their sleeve, if Landon Burbage can make some moves and try to navigate his way back out in front, maybe steal this win and put himself into the top spot here this evening, or if Jordan Hand can keep himself right there and picking up a checkered flag here himself on the season before our Easter weekend break is next Saturday. We will be off here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. All these drivers and their friends and family, instead of worrying about racing or any of the racing action here on their Saturday night, their Easter, weekend, we will be off. They will have a little extra time there to, hang with their friends and family and everything else and enjoy a holiday and enjoy some family time together. And unfortunately, we won't be up here on the booth. We'll be doing the same thing. We'll be working, but we'll be enjoying the Easter weekend with friends and family as well and enjoying some much-needed time off and time away from the stream. And for that couple days, we'll be having some fun off-stream and just trying to relax and enjoy some work, because I still gotta work next weekend, but other than having to go to work, we'll enjoy our afternoons off and try to get some good sleep in and try to get caught up on some videos and everything else as we'll get stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Jordan Hand out in front, ready to see that Green Flag fly here once again. Hand and Applegate 1 and 2 on the speedway is down through the Geico restart zone. They get bunched all together. A great launch right there for the 11, but the 57 of Applegate trying to stay right there to his inside, not wanting to give up the inside there. The 11 came down, was able to clear him, but Applegate opened it back up, and now they battle door to door for the top spot. Applegate looking to take this win away from his teammate here, even though they're teammates. Both these drivers, they're not going to give an inch out there, and here comes another one of their teammates in that 20, Aiden Lucas. He wants to jump right into that fight, and our Stage 2 winner, Landon Burbage, he's right there as well. Each and every one of these drivers, man, they are putting on a show here at the front of the field as Landon is able to make that move around Aiden Lucas. Lucas slides back into third. Landon there in that third position. Sorry, Aiden back into position number 4. Out there on the racetrack, Jordan Hand and Applegate still battling door to door here on this one. As Kurt Jensen says, Peacemaker, I think you need a nap. Thanks for the great coverage tonight. Yeah, I got you, brother. And yeah, we definitely need that nap up here. These caution flags are killing us, brother. These caution flags are killing us. And there's the yellow flag coming back out here once again. Yellow flag back out there onto the racetrack here. Ryan Haller going to run into some more issues. Tough breaks out there this afternoon for Ryan Haller. He's gotten tied up in a few of these yellow flags, unfortunately, here for the Tax Slayer 99. Right up the racetrack. Not clear of the 79 there, and unfortunately for him and Danny White, Farrell Robbins, they're all going to get some pretty heavy damage right there. Heavy contact between the three of them. And a bunch of tore-up race cars again here at Iowa Speedway, as this has definitely been a tough one. Cryptic says nap time. Nap time. I think it's definitely nap time. I feel like these drivers are feeling a nap time on the horizon here as well, as they're definitely feeling the aftermath of oh, man, it's just some tough racing, man. It's a tough racetrack, tough racing, tough speedway here, and definitely making it into a long night. Seeing all these caution flags and all the time. The downtime, and that's what gets me, man. The downtime, the time that just, you know, kind of sits dormant under the caution flags. Woo, brother! That gets me, and, you know, luckily enough, we got our Monster Energy, but we're getting very, very low on the Monster Energy, and we're going to need potentially a lot more of the Monster Energy here this afternoon, because we still got a lot of racing left to go. Unfortunately there for Ryan Haller, potentially that could have been night ending there for the 99 ride. I think he's already used up that quick repair that he had in his back pocket from early in this race, and unfortunately now with some heavy damage, he may be down pit side for an extended period of time. The 79 ride, he's looking to get his car repaired. The 76 of Farrell Robbins trying to get that car fixed up as well. These drivers may have to spend some additional time down pit road trying to get these cars fixed up and back out there onto the racetrack and trying to get their cars back into the action here. You do see heavy damage there on Farrell Robbins. Gaston's iRacing Graphics, number 76. You did see the 80 ride of Kenneth Cheney. He was back down pit road getting some more repairs done to his car, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go here. Another restart on the horizon here this afternoon, as the 11 of Jordan Hand out in front. Applegate there in second. Landon Burbage there in third, with Aiden Lucas back in fourth. Then we see Ben Gleason, Melvin Brancourt, Logan Perriman, Aaron Robinson, and Dylan Carrier. Looks like Dylan's taking his car back down pit road here as well in that 31 ride. So the Phoenix Esports machine, maybe trying to play a little pitch strategy here. Looks like he's got an extra set of tires he's going to throw on underneath that 31 machine, and see if he can use these fresher tires, that extra little bit of gas, and see if maybe that can help him race his way up and into victory lane here this evening. As ooh, doggy, we're getting there. We're getting to the end of this one. Only about 46 laps left to go here this afternoon. About 45 when we go back to Green Flag Racing, around there, 45, 44 laps, something like that, by the time we go back to battle here this afternoon. And our Premium Stock Car Racing League pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, so we will see the lights turn back off the official iRacing pace car, and we will get ready to go back to battle here. Oh man, Iowa Speedway, it can be either such a fun racetrack or it can be such a tough racetrack. And here tonight for these drivers, we've seen a little bit of both. We've seen some good green flag runs. We've seen some great battles out there during the green flag conditions. At the same time, we have seen an abundance of caution flags and a lot of drivers, unfortunately, getting tore up and tied up in issues out there on the speedway. And we've now lost a few drivers out there on the racetrack to these yellow flags, to all that carnage. As Ryan Haller still down pit side, Brian Underwood, Michael Ponder Jr. done and out of this race as well, and other drivers that have used up their quick repairs now with heavy damage out there on the racetrack. Thinking back to the 76 of Farrell Robbins, the 80 ride of Kenneth Cheney, Danny White, some of these guys that have had to use their quick repairs, and now any damage they get from this point on is going to hinder their performance and their ability to try to pick up a win here this evening. Is out in front, Jordan Hand, he's had a pretty easy, clean day at the Speedway. He's been very, very strong, but late in this race, that 57 of Grant Applegate, that 20 of Aiden Lucas, and the 2 of Landon Burbage look to try to take this win away from him here this evening, as Landon was able to win stage number 2 land laps early in this race. Was our pole sitter. He's back there once again battling for position number 3 between him and Aiden Lucas. Lucas up on the high side here. The two of Burbage, he's down low. They're still door to door. Back down across the line as the caution flag will come back out. So the caution flag going to come back out here in this one. Cautions breeding cautions again here this afternoon. And this time looks like potentially some issues for the 8 ride here. Nathan Brookover. Up on the high side, we'll see, the 80 just loses the rear end, and unfortunately nowhere to go for Brooke over there. Gets some pretty good contact into him, and then into the outside fence as the 80, I don't know what happens here, but for Dick Cheney, just loses that rear end. That car's just going to snap around and go around on him here, trying to get back onto the throttle on corner exit, and unfortunately just going to step on it, and the car just goes around, nowhere to go for the 8. Everyone trying to get through there as he goes for a couple loop-de-loops. Luckily enough, doesn't look like too much damage to that 80 ride, but it's going to burn up another caution flag and a handful more laps, and we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing again here in just a few more moments. As we'll get them ready to duke it out, we'll get them ready to go back to battle. Here is Jordan Hand gonna have to try to hit another restart, try to keep that car out in front, keep these drivers back to red bay. Don't go anywhere as we'll bring it to final laps here in just a few more moments.
Strapped in tight, ready, V8, symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Vaseline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quickest wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engines soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, eyes are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower excel. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checker flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engines soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near.
Alrighty, as here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here this afternoon. The laps are counting down in a quick hurry, and we inch closer and closer to the checkered flag here from Iowa Speedway. It's Jordan Hand out in front and down through the Geico restart zone. He will see that green flag fly here once again, looking to try to open up a bit of a lead, a little bit of breathing room between himself and a couple of his teammates. As Grant Applegate, Aiden Lucas right there behind him. Lucas trying to clear that number 2 ride to Landon Burbage. Burbage trying to race his way back to the front of the field. And here comes Bank Gleason, Melvin Wrangler right there as well, as some great battles here at the front of the field. And door to door down the back straightaway, our race lead up for grabs, and Applegate looking to take it away from Jordan Hand. They battle door to door down across the line. It's the 57 of Applegate. Out in front, he will be our new race leader. So Applegate now leads the way. Landon Burbage back into third. He's trying to hunt these two down as he sees them battling door to door there for that top spot on the racetrack. They're still side-by-side. Teammates still getting out battling here for the race win, and that's going to bring some of their competition, one of their non-teammate drivers, right to their back bumper as here comes Landon Burbage right into the mix, and now Ben Gleason making some moves here. Gleason looking down low, looking to see if he can make that move around the Tracker Boats. That's Pro Shop number 20 ride of Aiden Lucas for position number 4 on the racetrack. Melvin having a great run as well as Logan Perriman, Aaron Robinson, Noah Blackwell rebounding up into position number 9, and here comes Jonathan Gaston. He's there in 10th, and some of the freshest tires out there on the racetrack. That 31 of Dylan Carrier rolling there in position number 11 on the speedway, trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field. Wyatt Mickelson, Kenneth Cheney, Jordan Kreiner there in 14th. Chris Getz rounding out our top 15 with Farrell Robbins, Danny White, Nathan Brookover. Our top 18 is Ryan Holler, Brian Underwood, Michael Ponder Jr. down and out of this race. As out in front, it's Jordan Hand. Hand able to hold on to the race lead as he was able to take it back away as Grant Applegate slides back a couple spots. It's Landon Burbage who's back into position number 2. This is exactly what they looked like there not too long ago before that caution flag on lap number 139 out there on the racetrack. And now we see that 2 ride starting to work his way up to the front of the field here, looking to try to put the pressure here on Jordan Hand as this 2 ride has shown that he's got the speed to lead this race and to win that second stage, and now looking to try to win the checkered flag here this afternoon as well. As down low, he's looking underneath that 11. He's not going to give it up easily, but potentially a little rubbing and beating and banging out there on the racetrack is Landon Burbage putting the pressure here on Jordan Hand's bumper, and here he goes down to the inside. This is the battle for the race lead and potentially could be the pass for the win there, door to door, down through 1 and 2. Jordan Hand and Landon Burbage battling here for the race win this afternoon. Their teammate, or his teammate, Jordan Hand's teammate right there, back behind them trying to catch back up as Grant Applegate is look out, the 11 gets a little loose, cuts back down the racetrack as Landon Burbage takes the race lead back away. Burbage now out in front, he's able to take the race lead away from the 11 of Jordan Hand. Hand slides back into position number 2. Now has to go on to offense here. He's looking to battle back. He's trying to find a groove here in the middle, seeing if he can get back to the inside of Landon Burbage for the race lead. Oh, baby, almost a little contact right there. Now here comes a big run out of the 57 of Applegate. Applegate down to the inside. He's looking to make the move around the 11 here as well. He gets a little tight, has to roll out of the throttle. That's going to open up the door here for Ben Gleason. Gleason looking for another big run here this afternoon is the 66, looking to try to race his way into our playoffs here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. And here he is racing his way late in this one, back inside the top 3, looking for back-to-back podiums. Remember that 66 right, he has been on a tear as of late as Landon Burbage out in front. He's looking to try to pick up this checkered flag. Burbage out in front, showing these drivers that he is the car to beat here this afternoon after battling back, able to use some of those restarts there, trying to keep himself right in the thick of it, not burning up his equipment, but taking that race lead away and showing the dominance that he could potentially have, as we do see another couple of drivers. We do see Kenneth Cheney headed back down pit side, Farrell Robbins getting around him there, but the 80 ride headed down pit road here. He's our 18th place driver, and now down and off the speedway, and that's going to put him a couple laps down as here comes our race leader, Landon Burbage, down across the start finish line, going to click off another lap, and you see less than 30 laps left to go here in this race. Down to about 28 laps left of racing action here this afternoon as we inch closer and closer to that checkered flag. Landon Burbage, he's just hoping to see him pull away more and more and more, open up a big gap between himself and Jordan Hand, and just run away with this race. Not seeing any more caution flags or any more issues here to bring these drivers back to his rear bumper or have an opportunity for them to try to beat him here this afternoon. As we do see Dylan Carrier, one of those drivers with the quickest lap times out there on the racetrack, has some of the freshest tires than everybody else. He rolls back there in that 8th position, trying to race his way up towards the front of the field. Has Noah Blackwell and Aiden Lucas right there in front of him. Is that 31 going to take a look down to the inside here, trying to get around that NJB Designs number 18 ride here this afternoon? Is he's going to try to get down low, looks for a big run out of corner number 2, and hoping to pull up to the back bumper here of that 20 ride. Was hoping to try to get around that 18, but now kind of door to door there for that 6th position right in front of him, kind of trapping him back there in that 8th spot on the racetrack. And really nowhere for him to go right now. Hoping to see one of these drivers prevail and go back to single file where he can pick and choose where he needs to be on the racetrack to make that move and get in both of them here on the speedway and see if he can race his way inside the top 5. As Landon Burbage continues to lead the way, 0.7 of a second between him and Jordan Hand. Grant Applegate battle in there. He's able to try to get back down to the inside here of Ben Gleason as Gleason looking to try to hold on to that 3rd position. Unfortunately, going to fall back into 4th here as Applegate back around him as Matthew Wood says, dude, if Landon can win, I will cry holy. Happy tears, and so will he. Oh, brother. Well, we don't want to see anyone crying, but we do like to see the emotion. And for Landon Burbage, man, it's been a long time coming, waiting to see this car up and into victory lane. So it'll be something to see him able to get it done and able to put himself into victory lane if he can finish it off here this afternoon. Now, we don't want to, give him false hope or have something come up or anything else. We don't want to jinx him out there on the speedway, but I know for Landon, he's probably feeling the pressure. He knows that there's a lot on the line here this afternoon, and for that number 2 machine, he just needs to hit his marks, keep his head on straight, hope to not see a caution flag out there on the racetrack or any other foreseen circumstances to potentially take him out of this race, and looking to try to put himself up and into victory lane here this afternoon as he rolls out there in front of Jordan Hand and Applegate right now, and still has about that 0.7 of a second between them, and trying to keep it that way out there on the speedway. And some great racing here. Landon out in front. Hand, Applegate there in 2nd and 3rd. Ben Gleason with a heck of a run there in position number 4, and Melvin Brangler right there in that 5th position as we do see Dylan Carrier has worked himself around Blackwell and Aiden Lucas. They fall back to 7th and 8th there on the racetrack in the 31. The Phoenix Esports ride now into position number 6, trying to race his way back inside the top 5 here this afternoon. Aaron Robinson there in 9th with the 88. Logan Perriman back rounding out our top 10 on the speedway in the PBR machine. It's Jonathan Gaston, Danny White, Nathan Brookover, Chris Getz, Jordan Kreider, Wyatt Mickelson, Farrell Robbins, Kenneth Cheney, Ryan Haller, who's back out there on the racetrack back there in 19th. Ryan Underwood, Michael Ponder Jr. rounding out our field here this afternoon as Landon Burbage out in front. About 0.8 of a second now between himself and that 11 ride is down across the line. He will click off another lap, and officially 19 laps left to go here in this race. 19 more laps of racing action here this afternoon. So 19 more laps for Landon Burbage to try to find victory lane. It's been a long time coming. He's been snake bitten so many times, but here in this one, that car has looked very, very strong, and he's been very, very good all the long run as well, and we'll see if that trend continues here, and see if he can continue to find that speed, continue to find those grooves out there on the racetrack to keep all these drivers back there at bay and pull himself up into the winner's circle here this evening. But Jordan Hand, he's trying everything he can do, trying to move around the racetrack, trying to find some different lines, some different grooves, and seeing if he can try to hunt down that number 2 ride, as we did see Aaron Robinson run into some problems right there. Robinson unfortunately slides from inside the top 10 now all the way back into the 12th position as he went off the racetrack there a couple of times, was able to recollect it, keep that car rolling. No caution flag on the racetrack, and we keep it clean and green out there on the speedway as he rolls there in position number 12 now. This car looked very, very strong to start this afternoon. Unfortunately, never really got that track position to be able to really showcase that. He was up inside the top 5 there for a little while, and then some of that pit cycle kind of put him back here again into the middle of this field. And unfortunately for the 24, I think he had a very strong car, man. He qualified in position number 3, unfortunately, and to serve that EOL early in this race, the end of line penalty, where he went from 3rd all the way to the back of the pack and battled his way up there inside the top 5, and now kind of stuck back here in that 12th position. Has a little damage on that 24, and unfortunately not going to get the run that he was hoping for here this afternoon, as Landon Burbage continued to lead this race. Continues to have that about 7/10 or so of a second between himself and Jordan Hand. His Hand that time up the racetrack a little too far, but gets a great run down the straightaway. So you can see these different lines, these different lanes that drivers are taking, different entry points, different exit points, trying to carry some speed, carry some momentum around this racetrack, and some drivers either electing to use that inside groove, trying to take the shortest way around the speedway, like we see out of the two right. Other drivers will go a little higher up and try to arc this racetrack a little differently to see if they can find that extra little bit of speed, that extra little bit of drive that they may need to try to put themselves up and into victory lane. As Landon Burbage there in the top spot, it's Jordan Hand back in second. Applegate right there in third, and Applegate starting to quickly close up to the back bumper here of Jordan Hand. Now we did see Jordan and Grant battle, duking out there for quite a little while at the end of stage number 2, and roughly about the same area, the same situation that they're in right now, where Landon Burbage was out in front and was trying to hunt him down, but it was actually the 6 ride of Underwood who was putting the pressure on Jordan Hand, trying to get around him. Showed that he probably had a little bit more speed than the 11 and could have maybe had something there for Landon at the end of stage number 2, but unfortunately just couldn't get around this 11 ride. That held him up, allowed the 2 ride to run away with that second stage, and that's exactly what he's hoping for here in this final stage. He's hoping to see them start to battle back there for position number 2, of Applegate in Hand, start to battle door to door and allow this 2 ride to kind of just pull away and keep these guys back there at bay, and by the time either one of them gets clear of each other, that he can, you know, count these laps down and have too short of a time for them to even roll up and try to catch him here late in this race. Right now the gap is still about 7/10 of a second between first and second. Applegate back there in third with Melvin Brangro now up into fourth, but here comes that 31 ride, Dylan Carrier. Now he does have fresher tires than everybody else. Came down pit road, came back down pit road on lap 153. This 31 ride, he's drove back up through the field here. He rolls in that 5th position as Melvin right here in front of him. He's already looking down to the inside, seeing if he can size him up, see if he can make a move to try to get around this 89, and see if he can move himself into position number 4. And he's not too far away from our race leaders here either. He's about 2.6 seconds back of our race leader, Landon Burbage, and he still has to pass quite a few cars to try to race his way up there, and may not have enough time to do it, but maybe we see this 31 make a late race charge up to the front of the field here, trying to use that late race pitch strategy here, but he's quickly running out of time. He's able to clear that 89, but the 89 gonna battle back here, but there we go. He's gonna roll out of the throttle. The 31 will jump up into position number 4. A great rebound day here for Dylan Carey. We saw him get tied up in an early wreck. We saw him make a pass-through penalty early in this race with a hold down there where he went multiple laps down, was able to get those laps back with the lucky dog, and back out there on the racetrack and looking to finish this off with a solid finish here this afternoon as Landon Burbage out in front start to stretch out that race lead here late in this race. The gap is now 1.1 seconds, almost 1.2 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. So Hand starting to fall back a little bit farther. Grant Applegate there as well. Here comes that 31 of Dylan Carrier trying to hunt them both down, seeing if he can work his way inside of the podium here this afternoon. Is Landon Burbage, 1.3 seconds. Now the gap down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. Down across the line here. He will see 5 more laps left to go. So 5 more laps left here for that number 2 machine this afternoon as he looks to try to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening. Landon Burbage out in front trying to get it done. Look out! Oh, sliding sideways there at a corner number 2 was Grant Applegate as Applegate had gotten to the back bumper there of Jordan Hand. Unfortunately, he got sideways trying to make a move right there. Likely not be able to collect to keep that car pointing in the right direction, as right now that's the last thing that Landon Burbage wants to see is a caution flag. Is now a 1.6 second gap between himself and Jordan Hand out there on the racetrack. He continues to stretch out this race lead, and Dylan Carrier continuing to hunt down these 2 drivers in second and third, and if he's got enough time here, he may be able to have a fast enough car to slide up here and into a podium run this afternoon. Is down across the line. Landon Burbage will click off another lap. It's 1.6 seconds with 3 laps left to go here in this one. Landon looking to get the job done, looking to put himself up and into victory lane here this evening. And what we're going to do, we're going to give you the ride on board here with Landon and see his emotions, see what he is thinking and feeling out there on the speedway as he continues to roll out there on the racetrack here. So our race leader, only 2 more laps left to go. Let's make that camera a little bit bigger here as Landon. 2 more laps left in this race. He's got some lap traffic now in front of him. That's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking for him here as he rolls down the back straightaway. 1.7 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. Hand there in position number 2 as Landon, nice and easy, down across the line. We'll see that white flag fly here at Iowa Speedway. Almost 2 seconds between himself and our second place driver as Landon Burbage in the Princess Towing number 2 ride, looking to find victory lane for the first time here this season. The first time in a long time here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League for the final time here this afternoon. Out of 3 and out of 4, it's Landon Burbage who will pick up the checker flag here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner as Landon Burbage picks up the checkered flag and pulls that number 2 ride up and into victory lane as Jimmy 6 times says win number 1 for Lando. Win number 1 in the history books here for Landon Burbage, a longtime runner and supporter here of the Premium Stock Car Racing League. You see Matthew Wood in that Premium Stock Car Racing League pace car down to the front straightaway, gonna celebrate here with his longtime friend and teammate out there on the racetrack is Landon. He's very new at this. He hasn't done too many burnouts, but he's going to get ready to burn down the house here at Iowa Speedway with his first Premium Stock Car Racing League win, man. What a run, what a drive, and very, very awesome. Very good to see him finally get one here in this one. As Jimmy 6 times says, what a clean bump he gave Jordan. Yeah, definitely a great bump and run right there. Just open up the door, able to slide down low and take that lead and win away from the 11 ride. And obviously having a great car, man. Very fast, very good competitor here and very long time coming. And this has been the season of first-time winners here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. We've seen Ian Lucas finally break through and get his first win, and then a slew of them, and maybe not the same for Landon Burbage. Now finally getting that first one off the list, and potentially maybe this will give him enough for him to be able to try to start to string together some great finishes, some great runs, and more checkered flags in his future. As Jimmy 6 times says, what Jordan did to me at Iowa for the champion too. Oh, for the champ too. Hey, you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do out there, brother. You gotta do what you gotta do out there on the speedway. But man, what a run, what a race, what a drive for that 2 ride of Landon Burbage. We'll get ready to pull him up here into the broadcast booth as he's pretty pumped up, man. He's pretty excited to picking up this win, and we can't wait to get him up here and see how he's feeling right now down there in victory lane for the first time here in his career, as we'll get him up into the booth and the rest of our top 3 finishers in here as well. So, man, what a run, what a drive for him, what a performance out there on the racetrack for all of these amazing performers this afternoon. We'll wait for him to jump into the waiting room here. He's not in there yet, but we'll see him jump up there into the waiting room in just a quick second. Hopefully we can get him in here real soon and get him into the waiting room as drivers maybe want to use the bathroom or take a little bit of a break out there and everything else, as we'll get ready to see what Landon's got to say here about the afternoon. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth in a quick second here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Landon Burbage.
Dude,
Hey, Landon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
I got a copy, man.
Landon, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one, and what's going through your mind right now is you're able to finally capture your first Premium Stock Car Racing League checkered flag.
I mean, man, I've been with this league for 3 seasons now, and I've always either finished second or fifth, or I've always had a good car, and then something happens, and I'm so proud, and like with my pop passing away, I've just been wanting to get a win just for him, man, because I knew he liked watching me race, and this race just went so perfect for me, man. I'm super ecstatic and emotional, and I got the monkey off my back. That's all I could say.
Absolutely. Finally getting that monkey off your back and being able to finally complete one of these races. As you said, man, so many times you've been snake bitten out there on the racetrack, had a great car or a dominating race and looking bound for victory lane, and then something late happened to you and take you out of the contention of the running for the win. And not tonight, though. You're able to just run that race the right way here, able to keep on battling on those restarts there in this final stage, trying to battle with Aiden Lucas and great Applegate, and finally being able to get around Applegate into second and go after Jordan Hand once again, as we saw that, a couple times you were trying to hunt him down, just couldn't quite get there, and then a caution flag would come out, but finally you're able to get that green flag run. You get to his back bumper, you give him a little bump and a little bit of a bump and run, get him up the racetrack there, opens up the door for you down low, and you're able to quickly make quick work of him there, get around him, not battle too long, and allowing Grant Applegate or Aiden Lucas or any of these other drivers to get back into that fight for position number one on the racetrack, as you're able to just take it away and run away with this one, man. We had the webcam up there for those final few laps. We saw that emotion. We saw that excitement out of you as you crossed that start-finish line, picking up the win here this afternoon, man. It was definitely a beautiful thing to see and a beautiful race all afternoon for you, man, after, qualifying on the pole, showing a strong car early on, leading a lot of laps in that first stage, obviously taking no stage points there in that first stage with the pit strategy, but being able to win that second stage and then go out there and do exactly what you said there in that second stage interview, man. Just run your race, be picture perfect out there, and that's exactly what you were as you pull it up into the Iowa Speedway victory lane.
Yeah, man, I knew I wasn't really worried about Grant, Lucas, or anything because I knew I had a fast car. So as long as I could save my tires and don't try to burn it up and just run the track the right way and not try to race everybody around me, just drive the track, You can't be intimidated by nobody, and that's the key thing about just racing at tracks like this. You just got to hit your marks and just be consistent. I mean, and we saw that's what I did all night, and finally in victory lane, I'm so happy, man.
Absolutely. Well, consistency is key, man, and consistently showing up week in, week out for these races and putting together strong runs and strong performances, and it finally all pays off as tonight you're the first one across the line, the first one up here into the broadcast booth as our race winner here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League at Iowa Speedway. Landon, we'd like to thank, man, for such a great run, strong race, strong performance, and your first victory here in your career with the Premium Stock Car Racing League.
I'd say I'd like to watch. I'd like to thank my girlfriend, my dad, Matthew especially, man. I mean, he helps a lot out in these races. He's been my crew chief and all that. He's been helping me out a lot, and everybody in this league. Just everybody puts on a great show here, and I'd also like to thank my grandpa and grandma and all that, and I actually just got $100 from her too. So, but yeah, man, I'm so excited, man. You know I've been wanting to win for a while, so you know how I am.
Absolutely. Well, you finally get one, brother. We're super happy to see you up here in victory lane. And now, just like Ian Lucas early on in the season, after getting the monkey off his back and finally finding victory lane for the first time in his career here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, maybe now it's your turn to string together a bunch of these wins and put yourself up here into the booth, multiple times here late in the season, and maybe in that final race and picking up the championship as well.
Yep, that's my plan, man. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss the first race of the playoffs because of prom, but hopefully I'll be able to pick a win out or two in those next two races.
Absolutely. Well, tonight, those extra bonus points will definitely go to work there in that first stage, and hopefully